a very warm welcome to this week's edition of our Splendour show. I'm Glory Okon. You will agree with me that government has not really paid much attention to tourism development in Nigeria, but here is the good news. Aside from the policy of visit on arrival, recently, National Commission for Museums and Monuments, a parastatal under Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, took a bold step to collaborate with Latin America bikers, motorcycles to promote tourism in Nigeria. They are here in Nigeria to visit some of our heritage sites and to tell the world how great, rich and lovely we are. We are bringing to you the flag of that tour to 11 states within Nigeria. Check it out. I'll be right back. These are professional bikers from Nigeria and international community. They are currently in Nigeria to visit some of the Nigeria's museums, monuments and heritage sites.
Nigeria is not as bad as some people tend to paint us in terms of security and hospitality. That Nigeria is a good place to come and relax, to tour, to come on holiday, to invest in, and have all the good things of life, just like you have in some other countries with good tourism potentials.
At the flag of the Rediscover Heritage Biker Store, Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed said there is need for Nigerians to exploit the abundant tourism potentials, especially the National Heritage Site, in order to attract foreign investors to the country.
These are tourist sites under the auspices of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments of Nigeria. Lama bikers, those citizens of different nations of the world, including Brazil, Mexico, the US, Puerto Rico, South Africa, but are joined together by a common desire to promote heritage and tourism in nations all over the world. Nigeria has welcomed them in line with our ambition to make tourism a veritable income earner for this nation.
The chairperson of Senate Committee on Culture and Tourism, Senator Fatimat Raja Raseki, described the tour show as a welcome development and expressed optimism that this initiative will impact positively on the image of Nigeria.
This event is certain to become iconic. It avails local and international bike riders the opportunity to tour some of the most remarkable heritage sites in Nigeria. It is an avenue for the riders to combine their passion with a great public good, which is to promote museum culture in Nigeria and to spread awareness about the over 2,000-year tradition of arts, crafts, and artifacts. The cultural treasures of the many vibrant and diverse culture of this nation deserve to be better known, and it is entirely pleasing that the Rediscover Heritage Biker Store will fulfill this purpose, even as the riders combine the color and richness of museum exhibits with their bike riding flair. It is truly passion with a purpose, and I commend this initiative most highly.
The bikers shared their experiences.
Well, the initiation is all about promoting the Nigeria cultural heritage, because we felt we have a lot of things to showcase to the international world. And it has to be on two wheels, because we are trying to use the two wheels to unite the world, bringing the world together. And bringing the world together, you know, that will improve tourism. And we have a lot of tourist sites that need to be developed, that need to be showcased to the international world. This is an opportunity. The opportunity has come. Somebody has to start something someday.
With motorcycles that goes through 11 states, because there's a lot of beauty to see here and a lot of culture that you guys have that we want to enjoy, and we want to take a lot of the pictures and videos back to show our people, which are in 24 nations.
Is this the first time in Nigeria?
This is my first time in Nigeria, but I have been in Egypt, where we have 4 chapters in Egypt.
Okay, with what you've seen on ground since you arrived, what did you
Well, I took a tour yesterday of the central area and got all the high-rise buildings and everything. Did a lot of picture shooting, because that's very important. And we've driven around the city, so mostly we've been around Abuja, and we're waiting for people to come through the airport, so that took a lot of time. But we will continue from here tomorrow and move on. So mostly I saw the city and the central part of the city.
The tour is for how long?
The tour is 2 weeks, but the most important part that we have felt so far is how nice and well-mannered the Nigerian people are. We are very, very surprised, and we love that, because we feel at home.
Have you tasted Nigerian food?
Only a little.
Which one?
There was goat. I don't know what they call it, but it had to do with goat with spices. And the other part, I don't know if it was because it was Arabian rice. So I guess, I don't know if you guys call that, but to me, rice is rice.
How about babe? Have you seen any fine babe in Nigeria that's...
No, I have not tried too many things, because we've been too busy. So they're going to, hopefully we'll start tomorrow.
To recognize a female rider. So if you ride your own motorcycle in Lama, you get a special patch. You're called a Dama de Lama. So they recognize a female that rides her own motorcycle. So back home, I have my own motorcycle that I ride. Oh no, we have to follow the speed limit. We don't ride like they ride here. It's different. They're bigger cruisers, where you sit back and relax, not the sports bike like that. Yes, this is my first time in Nigeria, my first time in Africa. It's been a dream to come here. It's a beautiful country, beautiful country. I've been looking forward to this trip.
Tell me something where I know fit to.
The Minister of Information and Culture further disclosed that all the tourists got their visas on arrival, which shows that the visa on arrival policy of the federal government is effective. Welcome back. I'm sure by the time these professional bikers finish going around 11 states, they will have better things to tell the world about Nigeria. We are still talking tourism. Up next on our show is Iyara Day Cultural Festival in Kogi State. It's an annual celebration that brings sons and daughters of Iyara community together to celebrate their rich culture. Take a look. Iyara is the headquarters of Ijumo local government area in Kogi State. Iyara Day is an annual celebration that brings all the sons and daughters of Iyara together to celebrate their rich culture, achievement, and to thank God for the peaceful coexistence among them. The first Iyara Day was celebrated in 1992, and this was a Silver Jubilee anniversary.
Thank you very much. We are gathering here today to celebrate Iyara Day. A day in a human being. We have a day that one is born. A day that one celebrates as a special day. The same thing Iyara is doing today. We are celebrating today that in 365 days, God spare our life. We spare a day to join ourselves together to celebrate and share interests with our people.
Various cultural groups rolled out the drums to thrill the cultural lovers. According to the organizers of this annual show, the celebration is not only to dance and sing, but also serves as a medium to address some challenges that the community is facing with.
Culture is a way of life, and there is nothing diabolic. We have a mix of culture, we have a mix of religion. There is nothing diabolic. For instance, I'm a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and I will not put my hands in anything that is fetish or anything that is diabolical. But a river that does not take cognizance of its source will dry up. We have a culture, very rich culture. You have seen today the Iyara culture. You know, it's a very rich one. And by and large, what we are trying to do with this type of something is to promote matrimonial harmony. That marriage is beautiful, marriage is rich, marriage is something that everyone should aspire to. And that is what we want to encourage.
Cultural celebration doesn't have to be diabolic. We are only remembering our history. For children unborn to be able to see what we have or what we have to showcase or what has happened in the past. It's a good thing. It's part of the things, easy cultural attractions that can be showcased instead of destinations that are yet to be developed. So it's a very good thing, and it's good for people to really showcase their cultural values.
Another amazing moment during this colorful celebration was when the bride was ushered into the venue, which was to show how traditional marriage is done in Iyara community.
Celebration is about culture, the culture of our people. So we are demonstrating the culture of Iyara land, and this particular culture is how we present our daughters for marriage. So I'm the mother-in-law, and usually I understand the tradition is such that when you are bringing in the wife, the husband is not supposed to be at home. So you hand over the bride to the mother-in-law. So that's my daughter-in-law.
Other dignitaries have this to say about cultural festival celebration.
Is that we cannot run away from culture, because our culture is our true identity. That is what singles us out and distinguishes us in life. Anybody who forgets his culture has forgotten his source. So as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing like cultural festival.
Culture to me is life. Yes, because if you have people, you have culture. You can't have culture without having people. And so I happen to be somebody who cherishes culture, and that is why I'm here today. Aside the fact that my wife is from this community.
That is the president, Iyara, development movement. Okay, congratulations.
Welcome back. I'm sure you enjoy the unique cultural show of Iyara people and the glamour. What really interests me there is the marriage tradition, and I'm sure it will also interest some guys. You can go check it out. All right, guys. Still on the show is the 12th National Conference, an annual general meeting of Hospitality and Tourism Management Association of Nigeria, Hatman. During this meeting, Hatman also elected new leaders. Let's check it out. This was the 12th National Conference and Annual General Meeting of Hospitality and Tourism Management Association of Nigeria. Professionals of this great association all gathered in Abuja to deliberate on the key areas that will move the industry forward, networking, and to also elect new leaders. The president of the association, Aliyu Badaki, was the first to speak.
The association has consistently maintained the spread of training programs across the African zones in Nigeria. This has improved professionalism of our members. Student conference. In order to groom the younger ones, studying hospitality and tourism courses, student conference was introduced. This has given opportunity to students to learn, interact, and brainstorm on their career opportunities and development. And also this is enriched with the introduction of other side attraction.
Each guest speaker took turns to speak on different challenges in tourism development in Nigeria.
Create an environment of what? Safety. KK, Capital Club, close to our office. I don't know the day you go there and get through more. It's always filled up with Oyibo people because of our office. They believe it is the safest hotel in Abuja. And it is true. So you have to create that apart from what government do. Consider your architectural design and outlook. Create an inviting arena. Do you agree with me? You can't have a hotel that is looking like a shopping center because you want to get more rooms. There is nothing appetizing. I can't even look at the building and it's inviting.
Some hotels normally do. What they do is that every month they pay VAT. They don't put into consideration their sales. If you are paying VAT to the government, what you should consider is your what? Your sales. Your VAT should be based on your sales. Because we observe that so many occasions, hotels, there are some hotels pay every month and pay 50,000 and VAT. Every month and pay 50,000. Every month and pay 70,000. It's not supposed to be so. You are supposed to pay VAT based on your transaction, based on your sales. Because the Federal Revenue Service will come one day, say, let us see your records of sales. It's based on your record of sales that are going to apply the 5% to know whether it's what you have paid. Not that there's no fixed amount for VAT.
What we have learned today is going to help us to improve on our services and to understand the workings of tax better and what to do with security.
If there is no peace, people will not be able to move around. And business of hospitality, it depends largely on people moving around. So when there is no peace, when there is insecurity, people will not have that confidence to move around. So it plays a very key role. And people, if you have your money and there is no security, you will not be free to spend the money.
And in tourism, image is the key. So the security issue is a very big issue, and we can resolve it, other things can follow.
We are still developing. Every developed country depends on taxation.
I expect Hatman, in my view, to be a bridge builder, and he should therefore be able to annex agencies like the NTDC, the National Park Service, tour operators, travel agents, and even the immigration service for ease of our tourists in this country. For us, in the National Park Service, our doors are open and we are ever ready to collaborate with Hatman.
Students from various higher institutions within Nigeria were also given opportunity to learn more about the industry and how they can generate income while still schooling.
Ready. You must be pleasant and your personality to be top 10. And I believe that will take you to the end. And even as a lecturer, Robert will take it over. Students will consult e-library, like where I'm coming from is e-library. 24 hours internet, but you still need the services of your lecturer. So there's no way we can eliminate human trafficking, hospitality and travel.
As a tour operator, I have clients coming from other countries.
You are giving individual $100 per night. You are going to give it to me for $70. Some will agree, some say no. But at the end of the day, I will get what I want. Do you know you guys can do it? Even you are in school?
So for us to be able to have a grip of the industry, we must be skilled enough and be able to perform the required activities in every sector of the industry.
Mr. and Miss Hatman 2018 was also part of the conference. Another special moment during the conference was the election of the new executives.
To the best of my ability. To the best of my ability. And in accordance with the Constitution of the Association. And in accordance with the Constitution of the Association. And their progress. I also promise to do my best. I also promise to do my best. In the designated office for the progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
After the swearing-in, the president-elect, Mr. Samson Aturo, thanked the members for finding him worthy to lead and promised to work with others as a team for the growth of the industry and the association.
I had an overwhelming vote from all the members of the association, and that shows that they have a lot of confidence in me to drive the association to the next level. And by the grace of God, I tend to galvanize all the members, both from the academia and the industry, bring them together on the same platform to be able to work together to professionalize our sector, especially the hospitality and tourism sector. In this country today, we are having challenges in the industry because every Tom, Dick and Harry want to tell you they are professional hotel managers, they are professional caterers, and things are not going well the way it's supposed to be. We realize over the time and over the period that this industry is one of the major sectors that government has ignored for quite a long time, and it is a strong veritable tool that can help to alleviate poverty and help in empowerment of most of our youths, because the industry can employ a lot of youths and take them off the streets. So if we are able to develop the industry and make the industry to grow fast, it will create more jobs and reduce poverty in our society.
That's how far we can go for now. Thanks for joining us. Keep watching Splendour. Think Splendour, love Splendour. I'm Glory Okun. One love. Bye for now.